I'm going to talk to you guys about how the scientific method generated me millions of dollars in revenue, and I'm going to show you guys how you can apply this to any endeavor that you're breaking into. If you guys are new here, my name is Sumner Healey. I run a business called landinvestor.co. I help folks start, grow, and scale land investing businesses. And today we're zooming out. We're talking about the science of business. Now, if you're in land investing, trust me, this is very, very applicable. If you're building some other business, this is still applicable. Now, I always tell folks, if I was not an entrepreneur, I probably would have been a scientist. And I've always enjoyed the scientific method. I've always enjoyed coming up with hypotheses and testing them. And I feel super fortunate to kind of have those two interests, and I feel like they've merged in a really cool way. And I want to share this with you guys here. I've never really heard this talked about elsewhere, and this is a framework I've been using for probably close to the last decade. And I've ran 4 or 5 different businesses, different varying degrees of success over the years. And I've always applied this framework, right? Anytime I'm launching a new business, it always starts with a hypothesis, a test, and an outline of that test, right? What I'm shooting for, and I will validate that idea and then move on to the next step. Now, this idea works great for starting businesses, but in my land investing business, in my coaching business, in any business I'm involved in, I still use this framework for the day-to-day operations. You think, like, if you're in business, you're looking to grow, right? And typically growth does not happen in a vacuum. You need to continue to iterate and improve and add new verticals to your business. And so this is what I've used here, right? Now, I think first off, we need to zoom out and understand that science is not cold hard facts, right? It's a way of viewing the world. I think most people think of science as what they learned in their middle school or high school textbook. Those are pieces that have been generated from science, but science is a way of viewing the world. Science is a way of problem solving, and the scientific method can be applied to your business, right? And again, if you're in land, trust me, you're going to want to hear this. If you're in any other vertical, you're still going to want to hear this. So how the heck can we apply the scientific method to our business? Well, it all starts with coming up with a hypothesis. And I'm going to tell you guys an interesting story. So at the end of 2021, December of 2021, I've been running my land business for a few years. All of our deals were coming from direct mail. Direct mail was, we lived and died by it, right? Like if our direct mail fell off for any reason, we had no deals coming in. We're a direct response business and we live by direct mail. And so I wanted to branch out and add a new acquisition channel for customers or sellers in our business. And I had done some cold calling. We got a few deals from it, but like the test that I ran, it just was not worth it, right? It took 1,000+ calls to get 2 deals. It didn't really make a lot of sense. And so we went and added cold texting to our business, right? So that same list of folks that we were going to cold call, I said, let's just try texting them, okay? And so that was the hypothesis. I think that we can get land deals through texting. And then I had to start isolating the variables, right? Figuring out what's the stuff that actually makes a difference. And then we had to create a control group. And the control group in this case was our direct mail. Those were kind of our benchmark to pit against what we were going to get from our cold texting. And then we went and reviewed the findings. So I usually give like a 90-day to a 6-month time frame to let these experiments run out, right? And what was incredible is really from the jump, we saw, oh my God, this is extremely profitable. We ended up making hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit in our first year just from adding cold texting to our business. And it checked every single box, right? Higher response rate than direct mail, similar conversion actually than what we were getting with direct mail, but we were opening up totally different deals that we weren't getting through direct mail. And so I've continued to apply the same ethos to my land business. And I always tell folks, like the folks that are inside our coaching program, look at, I'm a mad scientist. So all I do all day is come up with ideas, experiment, collect the findings. A lot of it doesn't work, but some of it does work, and then I come and tie that back into our coaching program. So how do we make money? Let's just kind of take a step out and think about this from like the perspective of creating value or being an entrepreneur. Really, it comes down to problem solving at scale, right? If you can solve a lot of problems, big problems for a lot of people, you're going to make a lot of money, right? And it's purely, that is it, right? If I can go solve a problem for my neighbor, cool, I'll probably have 1 customer. If I can solve a problem for my community, maybe I have 1,000 customers. If I can solve a problem for my state, I have tens of thousands of customers, right? And you just kind of keep on zooming that out. And so you first off want to validate, is this a problem worth solving? Now, that takes a little bit of business acumen to figure out if the problems that you're looking to solve are actually worthwhile, right? I see a lot of people, whether it's in business or the land business, focusing on problems that just don't really matter, right? They're trying to optimize things where the outcome won't really move the needle. For us, when we look at this example of the cold texting, that's an acquisition channel for new clients. That is going to move the needle substantially, right? So first off, you got to figure out, is the problem worth solving? And then come up with a hypothesis around how you can solve that problem, okay? And then from there, you need to start testing, isolating variables, create a control group, which is a benchmark to pit up against whatever your hypothesis is. If you're a land investor who's looking to start, grow, and scale a land investing business, I want to talk to you. At the link down below, you can click to book a call with my team and I. We're going to go through a strategy roadmap with you to build out your land investing business. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game and you're looking to get to the next level, come and talk to us. I want to speak with you. I'll see you on the call. I'll give you guys another example. So back in the day when I was first getting into my land business, I self-funded everything. Everything came out of my pocket to buy these deals. And I thought that's just how you ran your business, right? And I had this hypothesis, what if I use other people's capital to buy the deals? What if I put my capital towards operations and marketing and I leverage other people's capital to go and buy the deals? Now, caveat, I'm not gonna make as much on a percentage basis on a per deal basis, right? So like if I was gonna make 100% of the gross profit on a deal, well now I'm gonna make 80, 70, 60%, whatever that joint venture split was at the time. And what that allowed me to do, and I benchmarked it against self-funding my own deals, it allowed me to do more deals, right? Because I had more capital to play with. So I was getting less on a deal basis, but I was doing more deals. And in fact, it actually allowed me to go and do bigger deals. And so when I kind of pit that up against a control group of funding my own deals, oh, ta-da, using other capital, or other folks' capital for my deals is kind of the ding, ding, ding winner there. So again, to zoom back, problem solving at scale, that's how we get paid. It's the same is true for the land business as it is with any business. What's the best way to solve problems? Ding, ding, ding. It's a scientific method. And so I really implore you guys to look at problems, whether it's in your land business or just life in general, from this lens of being a scientist, right? The more analytical you can get, the more you can quantify your results, the better you're gonna be at business. Really, all it comes down to in business, in my experience at least, is, okay, go find a problem to solve, figure out a way to solve that problem and test the results, and then build a team around it. That's business, right? I think a lot of folks overcomplicate it. Every business I've started has kind of taken the same format. Okay, cool, I'm gonna get my hands dirty, I'm gonna run a test, I'm gonna get feedback, and then if that feedback is positive, I'm gonna build a team around it. Now we do that in a micro sense internally in our business. We do that in a macro sense in terms of starting new businesses. We started landinvestor.co in August of 2022. Now I've been coaching for a few years prior to that on a one-to-one basis, but I said, okay, I validated the idea by getting my hands dirty and being the one-to-one coach interfacing with everyone. So we launched our business in August of 2022 and have scaled up to multi six figures in a pretty darn short time. That's not luck, that's not randomness, that is because I validated the idea for 2 years prior to building a team around it and building a business around it. So I hope this little tidbit is a benefit for you guys. Think about everything internally in your business and externally in terms of starting new businesses under the lens of being a scientist. And one, it'll build excitement for the world because you'll realize that every problem is solvable. You just need to use a scientific method to figure out if you can actually solve it in a way that's meaningful. And the world really becomes your playground at that point. And as a positive consequence, you'll make more money than you know what to do with. If you guys have liked this video, be sure to subscribe. We put out content around how you can start, grow, and scale land investing businesses, but we talk about entrepreneurship, life, all of that jazz. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love. And if you got any value from it, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video.